And most people think that's a bad situation, right? Right?
Right.
It could be worse than that.
All right.
But you laying there on the bed, half paralyzed, right? You can move your hands, you can use the remote control, right? You can still live a life, right? Especially if you got a few hours, right? But it can get worse.
It can get worse.
Lose the use of your hands. Then you just laying there, okay? Lose the ability to just speak or hear.
So,
But I wasn't like this before the vaccine. I was just jogging along, skipping along, enjoying life.
all right. So, if you don't know me, my name's Nara. I got Pirate Meds. This is my friend, Mr. John. And Mr. John, before his vaccine, is a vegan. He used to be the picture of health. He used to walk every day.
8 miles.
Okay? And before he got the vaccine, he trusted the science. And so I'm gonna let him tell y'all his story because I don't want nobody to feel like I'm coaching them. This is somebody who he's not Republican. He's not on Donald Trump's side on any matter, but he is someone who's suffered because of vaccine injury and basically was silenced. But go ahead and tell your story.
Well, I actually believed in the vaccines and didn't mind getting them. My issue started a couple of years after the vaccine. And if I weren't paying attention, I wouldn't even know that it is the vaccine. Okay? About a year and a half ago, I had a stroke. This came from nowhere. Right? And I had been fasting for 30 days. There were no issues with my body. I never had issues with cholesterol. Right? I was told I had a stroke because of high cholesterol. Right? No issues with my arteries. Nothing. You just have high cholesterol and it's hereditary. I asked my doctor. I said, do you think that that COVID has something to do with this? He said, John, we'll never know. Period. We'll never know. So what they do, when they look at me, it doesn't matter that I got 2 physicals a year, all the way up until COVID. It doesn't matter that I had cholesterol issues after COVID on a vegan diet.
Cholesterol.
Okay?
Right.
And it put me on statins, and that made things worse. I could barely get out of bed taking statins, right? Telling my liver not to make cholesterol. I was also told that no matter what diet you're on, you cannot help yourself with that cholesterol issue because it's hereditary. It looks like they're using hereditary as like the scapegoat.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
When they go into the area of the unknown, if I tell them, look, I did all these things for 99% of my life, the correct things, COVID comes along, they have no idea, no studies to even research what kind of effect it's had on the population. And here I am asking the question, do you think COVID changed my body? Do you think the vaccines changed my body after COVID? And they can't answer that.
How many shots did you get in total?
Three.
So you got 2 boosters and 1 original jab. Did you used to get the flu vaccine too?
No. I didn't even get colds. Since I've become a vegetarian at 21, I've never had a cold.
So how old are you now, if you don't mind, or you can give us an estimate?
68.
Okay. Now, the year that you had the stroke, that was right after your second booster, or how far between the second booster and the stroke?
Oh, okay, because I got one in North Carolina. So, maybe a year and a half before the stroke, I got that booster, that last one.
Okay. And what happened, like, when you had the stroke, how long were you down? Were compared to other people who had strokes, like, some people can still move, but they like got a little limp. Like, what was it like going through the
It
stroke?
shut down the right side of my body.
The whole right side.
If I were laying on my back, I couldn't turn over. If I'm on the floor, I can't get up. Right? For the first 12 months, I couldn't get up off the floor. I can now. Right? With
You're
work.
moving a lot better now.
Oh yeah, it's no comparison. Right? My issue is I've become less mobile since I got to Philadelphia. Right? And when I first got here, I was doing reps up and down the hall, right, X amount of times a day, right? But I started taking them statins, right? The statins remove any will to do anything. It's like the worst thing you want to take. It affects your muscles, right? It made walking even more difficult, right? Affect other muscles in my body. So I just decided to stop taking it, period.
So it's definitely about knowing your body. When you
Right.
realize that medicine is doing something wrong,
Right.
quit.
But see, the issue with medicine is, right, there's no personalized medicine. There's no personalized approach to treating a person.
Right.
Right? One size fit all.
Right.
Okay, you had a stroke, so you need to take these series of drugs right here. Right? There's no discussion about nothing outside of the rules of medicine here in the West.
Can I ask you one more question? Well,
Yeah.
two. How do you feel about drugs that's supposed to be life sustaining being on the stock market? So, like the COVID vaccine, they might have came through Moderna.
Well, you don't even need that for. I can answer that even without that. When it comes to, they'll put anything on the market that they can get away with and make money. Period. Right? When I was born, you didn't pay for water. Okay? Period. Right?
Mhm.
A lot of, if you research water,
Yeah.
a lot of these spring bottle companies, especially up near New York, are taking the water straight off of that river that comes down there into New York. Some of the best water in America.
Right.
Right. A lot of it is tap water. Right. But I'm just backing up to say, with the greed that in another 50 years we might be paying for
Air.
clean air in your home.
Yeah.
Right. I got off target.
Okay, it's okay. And I think the last question, because I asked about the stock market, but how do you feel about the doctors who are pushing, like that, push the vaccine, being
I can answer that.
compensated?
But doctors, well, first of all, they're in it to make money, right? Nobody talks about that, right? But you don't go into medicine without thinking about the possible money you can make.
Right.
All right, and they're trained like mechanics, right? So they don't get attached to any one individual. They don't care about their patients like that
Right.
at all.
Right.
Right? They're trained not to care.
Right.
And put up phony empathy, right? But for example, if you go to your MD, right? They can throw the typical drugs at you, right, as you age and grow up, right? But the minute something goes wrong, they send you to a specialist, right? They take it off their table. They no longer have to look at you, all right? They don't know, even if you go through some kind of pain, right? They completely unplugged from that.
Well,
I couldn't have realized nobody really cares about each other anymore.
it's all about the money.
It's all about the money. It took my entire life to really understand this.
Now, before I cut the camera on, because I said you'll be able to sue, and your reply to me was, there is no amount of money. You say that again? That can replace not being.
Until you lose the ability to feel good, you don't know what that means, right? You don't know what it means to feel good until you lose it. All right? Because I thought I knew. You couldn't tell me anything. I knew what it felt like not to feel good, right? It had to completely taken away. Okay? You pray every time you wake up each morning, right? You open your eyes, right? First thing you think about, I know I do, how do I feel? Immediately. Okay? Because there've been some mornings when I wake up, right? I just know I don't feel good now.
Right.
Right, and the day's gonna go like this, so I'm not gonna feel good all day, right? And it's time to start work. Right, so I got to really suck it up
And get the way
and fake it, right? And sometimes take medication during the day, right, just to get to the end of the shift, right? If you said to me, I give you $1 million to go with that, John, right? Now you're gonna work every day, right? You're gonna have $1 million of income every day, buy anything you want, you know, within that $1 million means, right? I would say to you, let me feel good every day, and you can keep the meal. Because when I feel good every day, it's unlimited what I can do, right? That's another thing I realized, right? The potential that I had and didn't use. Okay.
Message.
I thought I was using it. Okay. I thought I had unlimited time. I didn't even know I got old, right? I was just selling along like life was forever. Nope, not anymore. Unused potential.
Alright. Is there any final thoughts that you want to give, or you gave your final thoughts?
My final thought would be fight to appreciate what you have. I mean, everything, right? Start appreciating everything. When I get up to go to the bathroom, I appreciate being able to wipe myself. And that's not all, right? Because it can get worse than that. What if I couldn't get up and somebody had to help me up?
Right.
All right, I think about that. So I'm in a good mood. I'm almost celebrating in there, right? Clapping and flush the toilet, right? And I can stand right up, right? I stand up, oh, my shoulders are back, right? I'm smiling, I'm happy, right? And I think about probably the million times I stepped up during my life and never even thought about it. Never thought about it.
So that's when the old people say, it's in him that I live and move and have my being. Like, people don't even realize having a sane mind is a blessing. Being able to move. You said being able to wipe yourself. You said you lost the feeling in your whole right side. So that feeling to not be able to move an arm.
When I left the hospital, I was in a diaper. Okay? And the first time I even stood up after like 2 weeks of being bedridden was when they released me from physical therapy, right? And gave me a walker and said, you can leave now.
They ain't even make a plan so you can prep before leaving.
No, because it's all based on how much insurance you have, right? If I were a multi-millionaire, right, I would have around-the-clock physical therapy, right? It would be, I mean, I know it's available, right? But it's all based on money, right? The more money you have, the better service you're going to get from the healthcare industry.
So,
period.
The last thing, you're not on Medicaid.
No.
So all of the services that you received, you had to like come out of pocket, pay a deductible, everything.
Yeah.
And then the services shut off.
Because I'm still working.
And see, that's the thing. Somebody on Medicaid.
I would have more services if I weren't working.
If you weren't working.
Right. I get penalized for working. Oh yeah.
Ain't that something? He done had a stroke. He got bounced back. He got half his money every month. It's like, dang.
I don't even get tax breaks, right? I filed my taxes, right? And IRS sent me back a notice saying, right, they sucked up all of my return because they're not allowing me to have deductions at all.
No kids, no nothing.
Nothing. They don't give you the standard deduction. I don't get that. Period. They just take a percentage of my cash and keep it. Period. I'm not paying into Now, I'm still paying into Social Security, right? It goes up once a year,
Yeah.
right? But there's no way I could not work.
And I'm proud to be